Welcome to Feelings and the application of essential oils. Here is Aditya Novotny from Hamburg, Germany, at the present in a hotel room on the big island of Hawaii. So aloha to you. And why is it called Feelings 1? Simply because Gary Young had years ago two lectures, Feelings 1 and Feelings 2. Feelings 2, by the way, including oils like joy and highest potential. But today we are going to focus on the oils collection that has been called Feelings, and that comes from the original lecture of Gary Young called Feelings 1. What is the Feelings 1 Essential Oils Kit? What is it for? Inspired by Gary Young's experiences, the Feelings Kit was created to solve negative impressions and open up our being for a new life and a new beginning. Most of us have had to go through painful experiences in our life, which left scars in our mind and in our being. These scars may have become real hindrances to our inner growth, and they may have slowed us down on our way to new achievements. Gary Young and his personal life is a testament to that. And he was always fighting with the emotional wounds that he had had from the accident he had in January 1973 when a tree fell into his neck, and especially when his father walked away from him when he was really in the moment of need, in the hospital, in the bed. So Gary Young, who is not only the creator of these oil brands, is also the trailblazer for going through these emotional memories, coming to terms with them, solving and transforming them, and then turning them into your advantage. And that's what that presentation is about. By applying the Feelings Kit, we walk along the path of true self-identification. So with what do you identify? With your bad memories? With your disappointments? Or with who you truly are and who are you truly? While balancing and adjusting our emotions. This presentation is about the original oils that were included in the Feelings Kit: Valor, Harmony, Forgiveness, Present Time, Release, and InnerChild. A quote from Gary Young: negative experiences and ideas are stored in our brain and influence our memories, often for a lifetime. These memories vary from mild to extreme and have a deep impact on our health and happiness. To become the person we really want to be, and to let our positive vision come true, we have to let go these negative impressions and reprogram our mind and emotions. Gary Young. Now, give you a little bit historical background before we dive into the oils. This is from Gary's first book, The Essential Beginning. In 1992, Gary Young studied at the University of Cairo, Egypt, essential oils and their chemistry. Since the high civilizations in ancient Egypt had a deep knowledge of essential oils, every weekend Gary used to take the bus or train to explore their sacred sites, ruins and temples, in search of more answers to this field of knowledge, until this day not yet thoroughly researched phenomena of essential oils. So he went, amongst other places, to the Valley of the Kings, to hidden valleys and sacred sites of the pharaohs, to temples of Isis priestesses, and to places of the frankincense caravan. He went to explore temples, graves, and so on. Each weekend he traveled to another part of Egypt. One day he had a very unusual experience at a temple of Isis on the island of Philae. He joined an English tourist group and listened carefully what the tour guide was telling them about the place. Suddenly, a guard from the Egyptian government at this temple came and tapped Gary gently on his shoulders, saying, "Come with me, I'll show you what you have come to see." Now that was very mysterious. At first Gary was annoyed, thinking the Egyptian just wanted him to give some money, some bakshish. So he told the man no thanks and disappeared in the tourist group. But the same thing happened again, and even the third time. After the third time, Gary said to himself, if something calls you 3 times in life, you better listen. So next time the Egyptian guard came to tap his shoulders, Gary followed him through to a hidden door in a dark corridor up on the roof of the temple. So from up there, a stunning view opened to Gary. He could overlook the island and the lake. But that was not all that Gary was meant to see. The Egyptian guard took him further, over a flight of stairs and to a small door going down. And here was a small room full of hieroglyphs and pictures, showing Isis priestesses with balsamic oils and how they applied them. Gary Young could hardly believe his eyes. Here there was the description and paintings of a ritual that he had himself experienced about a year earlier in his dreams. And that ritual was called the cleansing of the flesh and the blood. The Egyptian guard allowed Gary to take photographs, which he later translated with 5 Egyptologists in Cairo. So that's the basis for this journey. Long before our time, the Isis priestesses looked at health and at fullness and at well-being in the sense that a person had to be physically well, emotionally well, and spiritually complete. And they had various techniques of using essential oils described in this ritual cleansing the flesh and the blood, whereby the blood, of course, is understood in an emotional sense. That leads us to the feelings kit of today. Valor, which is a very rare oil, depending on availability. Otherwise, you can use Valor 2. Or you can use 3 drops of harmony, plus 3 drops of highest potential, plus 1 drop of frankincense. So again, replace Valor if you don't have Valor available with Valor 2, or replace it with 3 drops of harmony oil blend, plus 3 drops of highest potential oil blend, plus 1 drop of frankincense. And you can make a whole bottle of this blend. 3 drops, 1 drop. That's a replacement formula that Gary Young once gave. Harmony, highest potential plus frankincense. So Valor balances our being while increasing courage, faith, and self-confidence. Valor helps the body to correct its malposition, its incorrect posture, which is often crooked and bowed down, so our spine should be straight, whereby we find back to our own core. So straighten up, and that's the message of Valor. Valor has a base of coconut oil and consists of rosewood, blue tansy, frankincense, and spruce. Rosewood is a wonderful oil for the skin. It acts grounding, stabilizes, increases inner strength, but it is a very rare plant. And that's one of the reasons why Valor is hard to get. Blue tansy is another very rare plant. It's easier to get than rosewood, and it supports several body systems. Even the smell of blue tansy loosens us, makes us, just by the aroma, feel good. Blue tansy decreases occasional fits of anger that everybody might have once upon a while. Why? Because it is so wonderful. You smell blue tansy, wow, soothing, relieving. You're like in an ocean of release. when you smell blue tansy. And it lets you go of repressive emotions in your day-to-day life. Thus, valor creates a feeling of self-determination, because it's interesting. When we are angry against something, or when we're repressing something, some emotions, we are fighting against something. That means we are victim. And that means we are not self-determined, because a victim is not self-determined. By decreasing our anger reactions, by decreasing our repressive reactions, we become more self-determined and self-aware and self-responsible. Valor includes as well frankincense, which is the oil of oils. Some sources say that it was a gift from the Garden of Eden. When Adam and Eve had to leave the Garden of Eden, God gave them out of his infinite mercy frankincense, which they enjoyed already in the Garden of Eden. It's been used as a holy anointing oil for spiritual ceremonies for thousands of years. It stimulates many bodily systems by the sheer smell and the invigoration and activation that comes from inhaling this oil. And it increases our mind's creativity. Frankincense helps us to overcome stress, despair, and dejection. Valor is also used to cast out occasional downcast feelings. Well, to whom does it not happen? But there is valor. Spruce, the straight tree that really grows straight to the skies. It's a good starting point when it comes to releasing emotional patterns and getting grounded. Spruce has strong roots, and spruce is straight. Let's go. Spruce not only brings harmony into our being, it also is known as the fragrance that has the frequency of wealth. And as you may know, it plays an important role in the abundance oil blend, which contains all 8 scents of wealth. So these are the 4 oils that valor consists of: rosewood, blue tansy, frankincense, and spruce. How do you apply valor? At the start of the feelings protocol, you apply it on the bottom of your feet as a first step to balance your feelings. Additionally, you might put valor also on your shoulders, and if you want, on your forehead and on your neck, and on your temples. That's how the Roman centurions used this blend. It is a historical blend before going to battle. They applied it on the soles of their feet and on their shoulders. It's the up-down direction. They applied it on the forehead and on the neck. That's the forward-backward dimension. And they applied it on the left and the right temple. That's the left-right direction. Now, speaking about a centurion in battle. Also great for dancers. Also great for martial artists, because you need these 3 dimensions in space, and valor is the oil that aligns you energetically. That's why you can use it either just on the feet or on these 6 spots that I pointed out to you. Second step, harmony. This essential blend gives us the feeling of physical and emotional completeness by harmonizing our chakras. Therefore, harmony is especially helpful in times of stress, where we feel shattered and lonely. It enables us to live in harmony with others and with our own cycle of life, which is also very important. What's your age? In what cycle of life are you? And are you in harmony with it? Have you come to terms with it? And it promotes an optimistic attitude towards life by clearing our thoughts. Harmony is a genius blend. It's one of the blends that really tells you something about Gary Young. It contains flower oils, for example, geranium, jasmine, ylang ylang, palmarosa, and rose. It contains, apart from the flower oils, herbal oils like lavender, Hyssop, Roman chamomile, Spanish sage. It contains also wood oils like sandalwood, and spruce. Harmony contains also root oils like angelica. And harmony also includes fruit oils, citrus oils in this case, orange, lemon, bergamot. And harmony includes a resin oil in frankincense. What am I just trying to tell you? We can gather essential oils from different parts of plants. Now, harmony creates a great harmony by having most of the oils within this plant. Resin, wood, herb, flower from the flower petals, fruit, and root. So 6 of the 8 different plant parts we can gather oils from are included. So by having these aroma archetypes, as I call them, from the various parts of the plant, makes harmony just by itself already a very complete harmonizing blend. Like we as human beings have also different parts of our body. Now, there is a lot of other things in here, and I am really sorry to tell you it would take me 2 hours to go through these ingredients of harmony in depth, because it is a sensational oil. So I just go through it quickly, not to take too much of your time. Lavender, and here I mean the real Lavandula angustifolia, not the lavandin, the hybrid lavender. This is the real lavender. This essential oil acts calming and relaxing. It supports us in times of disturbed sleep, tensions, and fear. Sandalwood. Due to its high percentage in sesquiterpenes, sandalwood stimulates our pineal gland and limbic system. It enables us to become silent and dive into meditation, which is why in India it has been used for millennia. Sandalwood may release unfavorable cellular memories. It contains orange, the peel of the orange, not the orange fruit, but the peel of the orange contains the essential oil, as is the case with all the other citric fruits. Orange provides lightness, relaxation, and a feeling of security for body, mind, and emotions. Geranium stimulates nerves and hormone system. Its fragrance encourages us to leave unpleasant memories behind and increase inspiration. Now, geranium and unpleasant memories, things we are allergic to or people we are allergic to, are often targeted by geranium. So very interesting oil for creating harmony by letting go of unpleasant memories. Angelica, the root, calms emotions. It may support us in resetting the mind after experiencing trauma. It may support us in resetting the mind after experiencing hardship and to release suppressed memories and emotions. Lemon, another citric oil from the peel of the fruit, actually cold pressed, acts invigorating and refreshing, stimulates the immune system and clarifies the mind. Hyssop acts especially balancing on our emotions and brings the soul's consciousness to the fore. Hyssop reportedly was the favorite essential oil of Jesus Christ. Connects you to the Christ principle, it connects you to your soul. Bergamot, another citrus oil, balancing and invigorating at once, decreases stress, fear, and tensions. Jasmine, a flower oil, acts on the emotional and physical planes. It is an ideal companion in times of indecision, hopelessness, and low vigor. Roman chamomile, an herb oil, especially helpful when it comes to restlessness and tension. It removes mental blockades, purifies, it removes mental blockades, and helps us let go of suppressed anger. Ylang Ylang, a flower petal oil, supports relaxation, balances yin and yang energies, the feminine and the masculine inside ourselves, and increases self-confidence. Palmarosa, another flower petal oil, strengthens the vascular and nervous system, increases vitality, and gives us a feeling of security. Rose, another flower petal oil, so steam distilled from the flower petals of rose. This high-frequency oil brings balance, harmony, and lightness to our body and mind. It invites divine love into our hearts and increases our joy of life. Spanish sage, herbal oil, and with herb is meant the whole herb, including the stems, the leaves, and the flowers. That's what is called the aroma archetype of the herb oil or herbal oil. So Spanish sage helps balancing you emotionally and letting you unwind. Harmony also includes frankincense, which we have discussed with the Valor oil blend, and spruce oil, which we have also discussed with Valor oil blend. Application of this oil blend, according to Gary Young's Feelings Protocol, apply harmony on all the 7 chakras to release unpleasant energies. Now, how to apply on a chakra? Clockwise, if you want to open the chakra, anti-clockwise if you want to close the chakra. It's like a key that opens the door or a key that locks the door. So clockwise from the outside, anti-clockwise from the outside. You apply harmony. Now, why do you want to close a chakra or open a chakra? You might want to open it because it's not functioning properly or the qualities of the chakra are not enough in your life. You might want to close a particular chakra because it's too active or the qualities of that chakra are too dominant in your life. That's why you can apply it clockwise for opening or anti-clockwise for closing the chakra. Now, to apply it from the crown to the first chakra or from the first chakra up to the crown. Depends which type you are. If you're a very spacey person up in the clouds, then you should apply harmony starting from the crown to the third eye, to the throat center, to the heart center, to the navel center, to below the navel, to the perineum, the first chakra. But if you're a very material person, very firmly rooted person, then you should apply harmony on the first chakra at the perineum, then on the second chakra at the sacral plexus, the third chakra a little bit above the navel, the fourth chakra the heart chakra, the fifth chakra the throat chakra, the sixth chakra the third eye, and finally the seventh chakra, the crown chakra. So when you're very grounded, you go up. When you're spaced out, you go down with applying harmony on the various chakras. Forgiveness is the third oil of the 6 feelings kit oils. By bringing consciousness to past disappointments and unpleasant emotions, we become aware of emotional blockades and we can release them. This essential oil blend enables us to forgive and to forget. That means to let go. Forgiveness consists of 3 of the most precious single oils: rose, the Rosa Damascena, the ancient rose, the Damascene rose. Actually, why is it an ancient rose? For the simple reason, modern roses, which are often hybrids, they don't have a strong fragrance anymore. They have lost their fragrant capacity. Rosa Damascena is the most fragrant rose that still exists, and it is the same rose species that was already used in the ancient times, in the time of the Bible. It is an oil with the high frequency of 320 megahertz. It brings lightness into the aura, and it brings love into the heart. Rose is the number 1 essential oil for cultivating the vibration of love. Second ingredient of the forgiveness blend is Melissa. Through its positive impact on the brain's emotional center, this calming and emotionally balancing essential oil accompanies us in times of fear, tension, and despondency and brings our softness to the fore. Number 3, forgiveness contains Helichrysum. The French call it l'immortel, the immortal one. This oil enables us to let go of anger and to forgive ourselves and others. Helichrysum is something like a fresh start. Old feelings, old memories, old energies die away and new chances are born, new feelings are born, new energies are born. This is what is supported by l'immortel, the Helichrysum. Further, single oils that are contained within the forgiveness blend are angelica, frankincense, sandalwood, lavender, bergamot, geranium, and jasmine. We spoke about these single oils already before. Forgiveness enables us to leave unpleasant memories behind, and it fosters the will to go forward. How do you go about forgiveness when you're using this oil? First, you apply forgiveness on the navel region, and then you enter into what has to be forgiven. It could be something you did wrong and you still feel bad about it, and you have not forgiven it to yourself. Or it could be something someone else did to you and you still feel bad about it and you have not forgiven it. So the first step, you apply the oil, then you think of that incident that still leaves bad feelings behind, and you enter into it fully, 100% into that bad feeling. If you enter into it only 50% and you say, oh no, the last 50%, it's too much for me, I don't want to enter into this anymore, what happens? The forgiveness will not be complete, because the rest 50%, there will be still somewhere hiding in your subconscious, and they will remain unresolved. So very important, confront yourself one last time, 100% with whatever bad happened, whether done by you or done by somebody else to you. Then resent that that thing has happened. Feel sincerely that it was not good and that you're now ready to let go. Then forgive and forget. And by forgetting, you imagine it's like a bubble, like a soap bubble that bursts and it's gone. Or it's like past is dust, it's just dust dissipating and to be gone forever. Why is this working? Because whatever has happened, that was then, but now is now. And if you look around, where is that thing? You go out the door, you go through the streets, where is that bad thing that has happened? Where is that thing that you want to forgive? It's only in one place, and that is your memory, and maybe in the memories of other people as well. Well, they have to forgive on their own terms, but it's up to you to forgive and to let it go from your memory. We could say forgiveness is the healing of negative memories. We let go of negative memories. So first step, you apply the oil. Second step, you enter into it one more time fully, 100%. And you really resent that that has happened. Third, you forgive it. And you become aware it's not there anymore. It's only a memory, and that memory now blasts like a soap bubble. Past is dust. And then finally you say it is over. It is gone. And you move on. Present time. Now that we have forgiven our past, now that we have healed negative memories of the past, now that we have come to terms and moved on, where are we? We are in the present, because in all actuality there is only one thing that really exists, and that is the now. Nothing else really exists. Tomorrow is not here yet. Yesterday is already gone. Whatever you think about tomorrow or yesterday, it's in your mind. But in reality, what is always there and what is the only factor that we can work at is the now, is the present time. So this is a especially powerful oil, and if you use that oil and the attitude of living in the now, in the present, you will make a big step towards mastering your life. Present time oil blend intensifies the feelings of being in the now. Physical symptoms can occur when we are consciously or unconsciously attached to the past. Actually, we are like a relic. We are like a physical embodiment of the past. To live in the here and now is the key, not only to be in the flow, to be physically healthy, vibrant, but also to be able to spiritually grow. Because when can you grow? Only in the now. We give up our mental patterns from the past and we make a further step towards the golden future. Present time has one dominant single oil that it consists of, and that is the orange blossom oil, called neroli. So it's a difference between orange, the peel oil, that is called orange essential oil, and that is cold pressed from the peel of the orange fruit. And the neroli, which is actually from the flowers of the orange tree and which is steam distilled from the orange blossoms. And this oil has been already held in high regard by the ancient Egyptians to give vigilance and clarity and presence of mind and to integrate body, mind, and spirit. Its fragrance leads us to our core and it stabilizes emotions. Neroli enhances inner peace, faith, and awareness. It is a wonderful oil and it is quite a challenging scent for some people because it is so clear, so present. It challenges you to wake up, to come out of your comfort zones, to come out of your memories where you might be hiding, and to be bravely here and now. Further present time oil blend contains ylang ylang, spruce, in a base of sesame seed oil. Again, we have spoken about ylang ylang, the blend that balances femininity and masculinity, and spruce, which makes us really straight going up. Present time essential oil blend enables you to experience the present moment with an open mind and to see new ways and possibilities. How do you apply this oil blend? Apply it on your wrists and behind the ears. It is also an excellent perfume. So if you wear it as a perfume, it will keep you very vigilant, very present, very clear all day long. The fifth oil in the sequence of the feelings oils is release. Release releases accumulated anger, especially from the area of the liver energetically. We harbor feelings in different parts of the body. And by releasing, by letting go, makes us feel very comfortable. By letting go of these unpleasant emotions and memories, we are able to establish an affirmative attitude towards life. Actually, we are ready for life again if we let go of old emotions. If we are not letting go of old emotions, if we harbor these old emotions, then we are not really ready for life. We are caught in our cocoon of old emotions. Release consists of lavandin. Now, lavandin is hybrid lavender as opposed to Lavandula angustifolia. And it's quite interesting to know it has 10 times the camphorites that the lavender has, thus being a very cleansing oil. However, it doesn't have, or it has only 1/6 of the properties that make Lavandula angustifolia so special and so soothing, which is why lavandin which is actually much easier to produce. Lavandin is contained up to 10 times more in the lavandin plant than lavender in the lavender plant. So sometimes, unfortunately, in present day's market, it happens that companies sell cheaper lavandin for real lavender. And then, of course, people are disappointed because it's not really the same. However, if you want to cleanse, if you want to purify, lavandin is exactly the oil you need, and that's why it's contained in the release oil blend. Next, blue tansy, and we spoke about blue tansy already as it is contained in Valor. It helps us to release accumulated anger and recurring thoughts. This oil is blue, deep blue like ink, and when you smell it, it is wonderful. It is so soft, it is so soothing, and immediately you come out of your mental ruts. Immediately you come out of your blocked feelings and your resistances. And thus, it helps you to not be a victim anymore. A victim to recurring thoughts, a victim to hurt feelings. Blue tansy helps you to regain your self-determination. Further, release contains the single oils of ylang ylang, geranium, sandalwood, and it is in a base of olive oil. Release promotes inner harmony and a balance between body and soul. How do you apply release essential oil blend? According to Gary Young's feelings protocol, you apply release over the area of your liver, that's the right side of your body, and then you just really enter with your awareness in that area and see how feelings of frustration disappear and dissipate. So you can really just go with your attention, go with your consciousness to that area and feel how nicely old feelings that you have harbored are disappearing. Finally, InnerChild, the 6th oil blend in the Feelings Kit, is a wonderful oil blend that is good for everybody, not just little children, because we all have a little boy inside us as men. As women, we all have that little girl inside us, and it's important that we keep the connection to our own inner child and live from that connection. Where is that inner child? Well, you can see it sometimes in the eyes even of a grandma or a grandpa, and of course very often you see it in their eyes when they look at their grandchildren, because their grandchildren remind them of their own inner child. However, it is a reflection in the eyes where really you find the connection to the inner child is in your heart. When children experience hard times, they often lose connection to their inner self or inner child. That can be, for example, if they are punished unfairly. That is very hard for a child. Also, the child doesn't really understand. There have been even cases where a group of children did something and all of them were caught, but one was not punished for it, but his friends have been punished for what they did. And you know what happens then? The one child that escapes punishment experiences this as deeply unfair. It also feels guilty towards its friends. And this can really create a block. This can detach that child from its connection with its inner child. So feelings of shame, feelings of guilt, and feelings of confusion are often resulting in a fragmented personality, in a shattered personality. And this is something everyone goes through. That's not something that we could consider a disease. It's the common human experience. We have hard experiences, and sometimes that shatters something in us. And it is important to reintegrate and to rediscover that connection to your inner child, where the whole world is just wonderful. Maybe you remember how you felt about life, how you felt about yourself, and how you felt about the world as a child. A child's world is wonderful, it's complete, it's full of wonder. And this is because at that time there is still the right connection with the inner child, and that makes that childhood world so wonderful. Now just imagine, is it possible to keep that child consciousness throughout your whole life? Well, some people do. And it's actually some people who have come to terms with their disappointments, with their guilt, with their shame, with their confusion, with their experiences of being treated unfairly. The inner child is stronger in them. They keep their trust, they keep their child belief. And you can imagine that these people go through life in a much nicer way than many other people. So, bad experiences can be experienced as a great hindrance, especially in the time from adolescence until midlife. Now that's quite interesting, that hard childhood experiences, they remain in the consciousness of the person and they will manifest in the life of the person as problems, because the person cannot draw upon its full reserve of consciousness, of energy, of belief. And this condition that for some people really manifests is commonly described as midlife crisis. Now, of course, midlife crisis is on the one hand something hormonal, but it has been observed that midlife crisis is especially strong in the case of people who had a difficult childhood and who could not come to terms with experiences in their childhood. The fragrance of the oil blend, InnerChild, revives memories which connect us to our true self. This is one of the first steps to harmonize and stabilize your emotions, to reconnect to your pure child feelings, to your inner child feelings. InnerChild consists of tangerine. Tangerine, from the peel of the tangerine, is what children just love. Very often children discover the essential oil of tangerine or also mandarin during Christmas time, when they are peeling a mandarin or tangerine and then they're squeezing the peel and they enjoy the fresh fragrance. It acts calming and relaxing in terms of fear and nervousness, also for grown-ups. But children, of course, they are fans of this fragrance and they know how to get it. Now, if you are a mom or a dad and your child experiences certain fears or certain anxieties or worries, for example, doesn't want to go to school, you might want to use mandarin oil, tangerine oil. You might want to use InnerChild. You might want to use Peace and Calming, which also contains tangerine oil. And you will see the child is so much more open and overcomes its nervousness, its anxieties easily. Then the second ingredient in InnerChild is lemongrass, which is a very invigorating oil. If you apply it, it really invigorates and supports blood circulation and makes you really very awake. It acts purifying and increases wakefulness, which is something that is very typical for children. Children are very awake, they are very much there. And you might see there is a little connection between the present time oil blend and the InnerChild oil blend. They act in a similar way. Now, no wonder the third single oil that is contained in InnerChild is neroli, the orange blossom, which brings what is important into our field of vision. Remember, the orange blossom makes you very clear, very wakeful. Your spirit really wakes up. And that is what children still have. If they go through childhood unscathed, by the way, they will continue to have it as grown-ups. If they have lost that wakefulness, that freshness, that being in the now, that playfulness, then it can be regained by using the blend of InnerChild. InnerChild further consists of orange peel oil, jasmine, sandalwood, ylang ylang, and spruce. And you may know them by now, the usual suspects. We have come along ylang ylang and spruce, especially nearly in all the oils of this series, but also jasmine for the heart and sandalwood for the third eye are very important single oils, which actually show what a child is all about. Wakeful heart and also wakeful spirit. Now there is an interesting quote from the Bible which says, unless you become like children again, you will not get into the kingdom of heaven. And there is some truth in it, as you might now understand. You know, this holiness, this purity of the world as seen through a child's eye, which still believes. If you do not have that, if you do not become like a little child again, it will be very difficult for you to get into the kingdom of heaven. So using inner child and cultivating this quality of childlikeness, you will experience how restorative this is also for your whole spiritual existence. InnerChild raises up memories which connect you to your true and authentic inner self. How do you apply InnerChild according to Gary Young's feelings protocol? You apply 1 or 2 drops of InnerChild under your nose to open the path which leads to your inner self. And that's now very interesting because that's a spot on which yogis meditate, also on which Zen Buddhists meditate. And that spot has an energetic connection with the third eye, and that spot has a connection also with the heart chakra. So by applying InnerChild here, you open the path which leads to your inner self. Now there is another way how you can use InnerChild. You apply it on your thumb, and you may be aware of the fact that children sometimes suck on their thumb. And even if you put the thumb up on the palate, you will find that the thumb exactly fits into your palate. Now, here is also this energy channel, this pathway, which is also here in the tip of the nose. So by putting InnerChild on your thumb, putting your thumb up on your palate, sorry if that looks funny, you connect again this energy path that you would also activate by putting a drop of InnerChild on the tip of your nose. And in unobserved moments, you may want to try out to suck a little bit on your thumb, even if you're now a grown-up. Just watch how it feels and watch how the energy flows if you apply your thumb to your palate. And then, of course, try the same thing with applying InnerChild. Now we are back to the beginning. Valor was in the beginning of the feelings application, and Valor or Valor 2, or as you remember, 3 drops of harmony, 3 drops of highest potential plus 1 drop of frankincense can be used also in the end. Finally, apply Valor once more at the end of the feelings kit application. Valor completes our experience with the feelings of balance and integrity. You may repeat the feelings kit application as often as you wish. Ideal is twice daily, every morning and every evening for 30 consecutive days. That is 60 applications altogether. Now, depending on how much time you have, you can make a real ritual out of it and do 5 minutes for each oil. So it takes 25-30 minutes. But also, you can of course make a speed run through, and that means each oil maybe 20-30 seconds, and you go to the next oil. If you have the time, I suggest you really do it slowly and dive deep. Maybe in the evening you have more time. But don't forget to do it in the morning, because it will really have an effect on your whole day, on your consciousness of the whole day. Also, many people feel so wonderful, so awake, so harmonized, so relieved and released and so much like a child again already after 14 or 15 days that they say, wow, it feels so great, I don't need to do it anymore. Now, I suggest, and I know that Gary Young suggests, you really do it for 30 days, for 60 applications, because some of the things that you want to come to terms with, you want to harmonize, some of the emotions that may have been pushed under the carpet, they need to be released also. So take this additional third and fourth week of doing the applications, even if you feel already wonderful after 2 weeks of doing the feelings application. So that is feelings number 1. The Historical Feelings Tool lecture of Gary Young you might find somewhere in an archive. I thank you very much for attending. You can of course connect with me on Facebook. That's facebook.com/Aditya_Novotny. Aditya_Novotny. And you can also get in contact with me at adityanovotny.com. I look forward to being in touch with you, and I wish you real nice time, real nice feelings, and a real nice journey of discovery with using these 6 wonderful oil blends of the Feelings Kit.